This video is going to be about how I stayed strong through my rhinoplasty, how I maintained a healthy mindset through recovering from a nose job. Some of you have contacted me through my Instagram asking for this video. I'm sorry that it came out a few weeks late, but that's because I have so many notes. Because if I was going to do this video, I wanted to make it right the first time around. This video is all about taking care of your mental health, depression after a nose job tips. I guess you could call this video a nose job tips and tricks. The nose job recovery tips and tricks to stay positive and strong through your recovery. Let's get into it. I'm probably not going to be joking around too much today just because there's so much information to cover and I don't want to be too distracting. So yeah, grab a notepad. I'm serious. Grab a notepad and a pen. So I ended up writing down a list of everything I actively did to stay positive through my nose job journey. And I separated all of those things into two categories: physical acts and mindset. So physical acts are obviously going to be things that you can do, and mindset will be the things that you think internally to prevent, you know, going down a path of depression. Right before we jump into it, I want to say that physical acts and mindset are just as important. I feel like once you go down like a hole, it's so much harder to get out. So all these things are going to prevent you from just getting hit with sadness, I guess. You can watch this video before getting your rhinoplasty. You can watch it even if you're 3 weeks post-op, because the main healing phase is the first 3 months, and all of these things will help. You want to go down to the bottom of this video and you want to click save and make yourself a little playlist. I made mine called Nose Job before I got mine done, and I kept all the videos that I thought would be helpful. That is enough talking, let's get into it. First category, physical acts. Physical acts, the easy one, but also kind of annoying. During your recovery process, you're basically just going to be lying in bed. You can't cry or laugh. Crying creates swelling and smiling creates like tension and pulling. So no really sad movies and no really funny movies. Definitely, if you don't have Netflix, just get Netflix for the week, or Stan, or Prime Amazon is pretty good, and just try to like stick with movies that you've seen before that you know isn't gonna make you crack up or isn't gonna make you cry. I hope you have a notepad. So that leads me on to the second physical act, which is no sad music. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do anything that's gonna make you cry. One of the most important physical acts that I did was the night before surgery. I looked in the mirror at my face and I thought about all the things that I didn't like about it. Every time I would try to remember all the memories I had that would first trigger me really wanting a nose job, whether it be somebody bullying me, a personal insecurity, the fact that you can't breathe, whatever it might be. But think of that the night before you get your nose job, and just tell yourself that if you get nervous at any stage before your surgery, you're just gonna remember that feeling. Remember that feeling of every single time you wanted your nose done, because odds are your nose really affects your confidence and there's nothing to be embarrassed by that. So yeah, that definitely helped me feel a lot more confident going into surgery. I wasn't nervous at all. I was so relaxed because I just knew it was something that I wanted to do. So obviously make sure it's something you want to do, but like once you make your decision, don't second guess yourself. Like it obviously took a lot for you to get there, and just remember that, and you have like your own reason for doing this. So the next thing you can do after your surgery is this is a process. I don't know why it sounds like no one really gets much guidance from their surgeons as far as I've been able to tell, but this is what I did, and I think this is what stopped me from being depressed. Or maybe a better way of putting it would be like, this is the reason why I feel like I had like a really stable, grounding, gradual kind of acceptance of my new face. Nothing can prepare you for this. Like, it's like going on a roller coaster the first time. You just can't imagine that like possible like G-force feeling. Like, I'm not kidding. It's like this whole different thing you've never felt before. Like, it's not even shock. Like, you're literally looking at an alien, but that alien is you. Like, you don't recognize your face. It is an indescribable feeling. So don't expect to love it. If you do, like, that's fucking amazing, but you're probably not going to, and it's super normal to not, because you're so swollen. So what happens is you have this part here will swell up. Basically, you've got a muscle here And that, like, that's so weird, right? Who knew you had a muscle on your nose? But how do you think you can, like, do all that stuff? You know what I mean? So yeah, you'll have a muscle here, and that will be swollen, so it'll make it look like you have a bump, but you don't. You'll have like weird bumpiness here that will eventually go away. This will be like way thicker. These little bits underneath, like the bottom of the nose, they're just gonna be like really puffed up, so you're gonna look like a pig. So yeah, that's a brief description of basically what your nose is going to look like. What matters is how you physically approach getting used to your nose by doing these simple steps. This is what I did. I was just like, how the hell am I gonna get used to my face? Every single night I would take off my cast before my shower. I would look at my face for 1 minute, and then after 3 days I would turn it to 2 minutes. Each day I would bring it up like 30 seconds because that's all I could handle. Maybe after like a week of looking at my nose every single night for like a minute or two, I would just keep my cast on all day. Oh. Okay, if like I didn't feel like just looking at my nose that night, I would bring a mirror into the shower and like clean my nose with like a washcloth. And that way I was looking at my nose, but I wasn't just staring and obsessing over it, like I was looking at it for a reason. Next up. So one of the physical acts I did was I waited until I was ready to show each person in my life. So I did it kind of like in order of people that affect me the most about how they think of me. You're just a human, you're obviously gonna care what certain people think. I didn't show my sister until like maybe week 4. I kept the cast on all day at home, and that really stopped me from dealing with other people's reactions when I was kind of trying to deal with my own reaction. The more difficult one, and I think the one that takes a little bit more discipline, is mindset. So let's get into it. Just quickly wanted to say, some things in this video might seem like they're unrelated to keeping a healthy mindset, but the truth is doing the right things, as in like doing the proper things to prevent laughing too much or crying too much, that's gonna make you feel better, because if you laugh too much and you pull stuff, you're gonna worry about that, and that's gonna mess with your mental health. So that's what I meant by those things. But I just quickly wanted to say, to put at the forefront of your mind concerning the mindset category, the most important thing really to remember is that it takes 3 months for the swelling to go down, which is what most experts, plastic surgeons, claim. So what I did was I made a pact with myself to not judge my nose for the first 6 weeks. And I have this in my vlog, and I really lived by this no matter how it looked. I just think making that 6-week pact really helped with my mental health. So I seriously recommend doing that. Just tell yourself you're not going to care for the next 6 weeks. If it looks good, if it looks bad, it doesn't matter, because it's going to change so much over the next 3 months that you might as well not get caught up in liking it too much or not liking it. Do the aftercare correctly and just do the proper things to prevent, you know, swelling. Another quick thing before I show you the footage from yesterday is don't blame yourself if there's a complication. I see a lot of videos of girls saying, you know, they hate themselves or they regret their decision, how could they be so stupid? And the truth is, how can you talk to yourself like that? There's like videos all over YouTube of women and men flying to Turkey, spending $2 grand on their nose, and it coming out perfect. Some people just get lucky and other people don't. I mean, the same surgeon can give someone an amazing result and someone else not. It also depends on your facial features. I had very realistic expectations going in. I know that my other features are definitely not perfect, so there was no way I was going to come out looking like a model. Yeah, basically just know you're not going to come out perfect, and like if you do, like congratulations. A nose job seriously might completely change your life. Like I feel like I can definitely be more confident on this side now. I don't like this side, but I know now if I have to go to university and do a speech, I know I can just stand on the left of something, because public speaking was a massive fear I had just because I hated my face so much. But now I don't know, I just feel like my abilities have expanded because of my confidence, because I feel a lot more confident now, you know, being on a certain angle. So yeah, anyways, sorry, going back to what I said before, do not blame yourself if something bad happens, and promise yourself that you're not going to blame yourself or hate yourself. Hating yourself if something goes wrong in a surgery that you did is just so stupid, because you're not the surgeon, and also complications just happen. If you've thought about the surgery beforehand and, you know, thought the risks were worth the, I guess, prize, why would you hate yourself if you tried to go for something that you knew was going to make you happy? Like,
people judge you on your looks. Fucking get used to it. Like, you tried to do something about it. Don't hate yourself. Go with the surgeon that you can afford. And if you can't afford the surgeon you want, well then, you know, save up. If that's the surgeon, you know, you're gonna feel comfortable with. Just remember that it's so silly to hate on yourself, and don't hate yourself, bro. I hate seeing videos of people, like, blaming themselves when something goes wrong. It's like, what could you have done? What? Like, stop being so hard on yourself. I also want to add quickly, there's that whole debate about, like, you're getting plastic surgery to please other people. Obviously, you're getting it for yourself. Yeah, you want to be more confident, therefore it's going to change your life. It's going to increase your confidence to do the things you want to do. So, you're doing it for yourself. I just don't think people talk about it enough, and, like, people seem to get so affected or, like, shamed by other people telling them, oh my god, you're so sad, you're so insecure. It's like, well, cunt, you're the one fucking treating me different. Attractive people are not nice to ugly people. Like, can we just, like, put that out in the open and pretend, like, stop pretending that doesn't happen? Like, when you're fucking ugly, you can tell when someone thinks they're better than you within the first fucking second, especially if they're really attractive. It's just obvious. Like, and it's an experience attractive people just could not fucking imagine. So yeah, don't hate yourself if you want to fucking do something about it. Like, I refuse to blame myself if something goes wrong. Refuse.
Just know that even if you get botched, it's not the end of the world. Like, have you seen the show Botched? People can get their nose fixed if they get botched. You obviously got surgery in the first place because it bothered you. And you know what, if you have to get surgery again, it's honestly not the end of the world. Like, it's your decision to get held back by these things that, you know, you've been unlucky with. But just don't hate yourself, please. Like, promise yourself you're not gonna hate yourself. And do not compare your nose to anybody else's. There's literally a quote, it's like, comparison is the thief of joy, and it's so true. So do not go down that path. Don't even let yourself start thinking of those things. Just remember that statistically you are going to be happy with your nose, so you might as well not obsess over it over the next 3 months. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, honestly, revision isn't the end of the world. Obviously it costs money, obviously it sucks, but it's nothing worth getting depressed over. When you get depressed, your whole life just stops, everything goes to shit. And that's really, it's not that bad if you have a complication. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, my nose is not, like, look at this side. It's not the end of the world. Like, if I want to get it fixed in the future, I will. Like, it just, yeah. All of these tips and tricks are just as equally as important as each other, and I think the bundle of them is the reason why I've stayed so strong. And I'm just, yeah, wow. I just really want to share all this. Please make sure you're writing this down. Okay, bye. One of the first things you should do before your surgery, decide what you would rather. Have people text you and visit while you're healing, or being in your own company until you're ready to interact with people. And whatever you prefer should determine what you choose to do next, which is telling specific people about the date of your surgery, or even telling them at all. I had family members who just disagreed for so long that I decided to not tell them and just get it. People's reactions once finding out you've gotten something and getting something is going to be completely different. What I mean by that is people are going to react differently before you get your surgery and after. After, they're kind of forced to accept it, but before the surgery, some people are just going to try and be a hero and try to convince you not to get the surgery. You know that there's someone in your life. I think everyone's got that one person you know would just text you up until surgery. Be picky with who you tell about your surgery. You just have to accept that some people don't understand how plastic surgery works, what it can do for people's confidence. So yeah, be picky about who you tell, and that's kind of what I meant by that. People just might put you through literal hell before your surgery, and then they might be the exact same people to just accept it straight away after. And I think deep down you know who those people are, and if people get mad that you didn't tell them about the surgery, you know what? They'll get over it. It's your life. There are definitely people in your life who will just assume you're crazy, as if you just made the decision when you really wanted it for 10 years. Like, that's just the way people are. Some people think plastic surgery is evil and wrong. There were people who definitely just thought I was going to come out like Michael Jackson. Like, that's what some people think plastic surgery is, but you'd be surprised how many people you pass on the street and they have plastic surgery and you just have no idea, because, like, plastic surgery doesn't always have to look fake. Ariana Grande's whole face is fake.
Like, just tell people that. Like, it is. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. And you know what? If someone is affecting you, nah, you can find out after I get the surgery. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Obviously, I'm not advocating for just going off and doing something. This channel is plastic surgery positive, but I only condone surgeries that people have spent a long time thinking about, with insecurities that have genuinely impacted their life. But whatever, doesn't really matter about me. But yeah, so yeah, with telling people about the date of your surgery, you have to think about, are you the type of person who wants their phone blowing up? Or are you the type of person who just needs your like quiet time while you're healing? You know who you are. Some people really appreciate it, get well soon text. Other people just might feel stressed out if they have to reply to someone. So it's whatever works for you. But you know, really go through in your head if you're gonna want support or not. Everybody's different. Think about that, and you know, think about who you tell about your surgery. Are they gonna go off and tell a bunch of people before you're ready to come out? Before you're ready to come out about it? Because like, you know, there's gonna be people who will talk about it. Like, just make sure you do it when you're ready and you're gonna feel fine about it. Now, I don't care who knows about my nose job because I'm ready at this point. And it doesn't matter that it took me 2 months to be ready. You have to accept yourself for whenever you're ready to tell people. Yeah, you can tell people you're gonna get a nose job soon and not tell them the date. That way, when you tell people, it might not be a shock to them. You might not have as much anxiety about letting people know. Just really go through and think about this. Seriously, get a notepad and write this stuff down. Okay, so next up under the mindset category, the internal work you have to do to make your journey go as smoothly as possible, is truly understanding the risk of falling off the wagon, I guess. I don't know about you, but I'm just also sharing my experience. I know that for me, staying strong before I get really sad is the best way to approach preventing any sort of like depression. So understand that there will be moments through this journey where you just want to cry, or I don't know, you just kind of like almost want to like let it get to you. Hi, me again. So an example of like a challenge you might be faced with is, this is also why I say don't listen to sad music, because that's going to trigger sad thoughts, which is going to make you cry. This might be a very traumatizing experience for you. You know, there's many reasons why someone might undergo a rhinoplasty. One of them might be, you know, you might have experienced quite bad bullying in the past, and it might remind you of that and how, you know, it affected you so much that you lived your life with like an insecurity, and that you had to get surgery for, and you just want it to like, you know, really want to work out. I feel like a lot of people could relate to that. Just remember that this isn't a time to be embarrassed. I think majority of people pay for their own rhinoplasties. I know I did. And you know, it's really a time to be proud of yourself, even if you're not feeling ecstatic because you're so exhausted. You know, it is really a time to be proud of yourself. It's something you did it for yourself. It is a step in the right direction towards, you know, becoming just like the positive, confident person you want to be, I guess. Or, you know, even if you just got your rhinoplasty for breathing issues, that is a massive accomplishment, doing something for yourself. Remind yourself that you don't have to be like sad in this time, and when you're triggered by like thoughts of the past, it's just like natural, because like you're laying in a bed for a week, obviously you're gonna start thinking about things related to your nose job. I mean, everyone who's gonna talk to you is gonna just be talking about your nose job. You should basically, I'm just saying, you should be proud of yourself. And I think there's a difference between expressing yourself and letting something get to you. Like, I think there is a fine line between toxic positivity and staying positive. I do not advocate for toxic positivity at all, which is basically, toxic positivity is basically where you just internally invalidate any sort of inward or outward experience that is making you feel a genuine emotion. I do feel like you can register that something is affecting you and not let it completely consume you, like it really could in this time. And I think that if you want to display toxic positivity for a month while going through this really difficult time, I don't think there's an issue with that, like just refusing to think about it too much, because I don't know, you're coming off medication, you're tired, you haven't slept, so you might as well not think too deeply about anything until you can really like put your thoughts together and create a plan of action, which is moving on the hell with your life or getting a revision. That is just the reality. And understand that if you get too sad, you're going to cry, and crying is so bad for your nose. Like, it's going to create so much swelling. So understand that if you don't do these things for yourself, you're putting yourself in a risk to have a longer recovery period. And you care about yourself, which is why you got the surgery, to better your life, to better your confidence. So Remember to stay strong in the moments where you feel weak, and I definitely think this experience made me a much stronger person. So just know that if me, the biggest crybaby you've ever met in real life, can get through this whole experience without getting depressed or sad, like, you can do it too. I promise you. Okay, sorry, that was like a lot. Just another mindset thought is, if every night you're sleeping like this, look, okay, do you see the little doodle? Every night you're sleeping like that. If you're gonna sleep so uncomfortably every single night, why would you let yourself cry for 5 minutes and just like ruin all that work you did to prevent the swelling, sleeping uncomfortably the whole night? Understand that if you cry during this period, you're really doing yourself a disservice. The next one is a little bit more before your surgery, but it's plan ahead, which I guess this video is incorporated into that, which is why I recommend putting it in a saved playlist. Planning ahead will reduce stress. Taking the right amount of work off will reduce stress. Stock your fridge full of fresh fruit, like smoothies. Sorry, that actually goes under the physical acts, but you know what I mean. But just make sure you're writing this stuff down. So yeah, stock your fridge full of fresh fruits, smoothies. When I was recovering from my surgery, having a fresh smoothie was the best part of my day. Smoothies will be so good. Get something with pineapple. Just get like, go to the frozen section and just get all the fruit. All the fruit. Get like 3 bags of pineapple, honestly. So maybe the next thought process or thought you can like incorporate into your mindset going forward with your nose job or nose job recovery is knowing that you're doing your aftercare correctly. Knowing you're doing the right thing is going to make you feel so much more relaxed. It's gonna let your body heal. Doing your aftercare correctly will really help out with that. So I'm going to create one video, just one, on how to do your aftercare properly. I'm going to be going over the right way to spray your nose. I never got told about that. I had to look it up while I was doped up on drugs. Doing your aftercare correctly is really going to help out with any sort of anxiety of your nose not turning out the way you want. I think when you do everything you possibly can, you feel a lot better within yourself. And I think if something ever happened to your nose, blaming yourself would be such a horrible path to go down. So I'm going to be making one and one only perfect aftercare routine of your rhinoplasty. So I will be going over how to spray your nose the right way, how you should set up your bed, how you should really set out some meals. It won't be that long, but it'll just be a helpful little video. You can just watch one video and I'll put everything you need in there, and it won't be scattered or anything like that. So yeah, I hope that video was helpful to you guys. Okay, stay safe out there, kids. The world is a crazy place. But if you don't want to go outside, that is fine. I won't judge you. You can stay home and binge all my content. If you like this video, give it a like. And if you like me, then consider subscribing.